Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to you all. Let's start today's webinar, which is about NIFT situation test. I am Prerna Nahar. I work as design mentor at BRDS, so I will be hosting this seminar. This webinar is all about NIFT situation test, as I said before. So first of all, congratulations everyone who has cleared their phase 1 for NIFT. It's time for all of you to prepare for phase 2, because you are just one step away in achieving your dream design college, design institute. For this, we have with us Mr. Aditya Padihar. Aditya Padihar is one of the expert faculties who will be training the students online, offline for NIFT situation test. So he will be one of the best person to guide you better that what is all about NIFT situation test. NIFT situation is all about 3D model making, working on different themes, how to write. So each and every topic which is important in cracking the whole 20% weightage marks, he will be discussing here. So without wasting much of your time, let me introduce everyone with Mr. Aditya sir. Aditya sir, hi, how are you?
Hello, ma'am. Very good morning. I'm good. Thank you. How about you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you for asking.
Good morning, sir, all the students. And first, good morning, yes, students, everyone. And first of all, a heartiest congratulations on clearing the first stage.
So sir will be taking this webinar. He will be sharing one screen. He has prepared some presentation that what is some do's and don'ts, that how you can prepare for NIFT situation test. If your friends are also there who have qualified for the same, you can invite them also to attend this webinar, as this is very important for all of you to understand what exactly gonna be there in this particular session, in particular exam. So without wasting much of your time, I'll be sharing one screen. So Aditya sir, over to you in explaining, yes, the whole situation, yes, test, why, what, and how.
Yes, thanks a lot, ma'am. So starting with the presentation, as ma'am already said, the 20% weightage, which again is very important. So in terms of NIFT situation test, we need to understand 3 important factors if you are appearing for it. It is very different compared to what you have already done in the part of CET and GAT, right? How it is different, we will discuss step by step. So if you can sit with a diary and a pencil, it would be great for you to note down all those important points. We will be sharing things that you need to keep in mind while preparing for it, and also things you need to consider while you are appearing for the exam. Right. So starting with screen sharing. Okay. So the first very important point you have to consider is about why. Because if you are aware of the why behind the situation test, it gets pretty easy for you to understand what you have to do in terms of how. Okay. So you already know that GAT and CAT carries a weightage of 80%. The remaining 20%, do not consider that it is just because 20% is not important. Merit rank gets from one place to other if you're not considering this 20% as an important factor. The main reason for conducting the test is to know your material handling and innovative ability. Reason behind this, post your entrance while you are in design college, in the next 4 to 5 years and also in the industry, you're going to deal with materials. Fine. So to understand your approach towards the material, they conduct a small test where they will see how good you are creatively using material with a particular situation. So that's why it is termed as situation test, right? Moving on towards the next. Fine. Okay. So understanding the what behind it, right? What are the questions you will be asked? Okay. And what type of approach you have to consider when you are appearing for it. So not much, let's keep it simple. Let's product an attribute based. So when it comes to product, you will need to replicate scenario or situation. For example, it was asked in 20.
Sir, your voice is not audible. Uh, your voice is not that audible.
Okay, am I audible now properly?
Yes, now, yeah, now you're audible.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so understanding the what behind this, I am going to repeat the same thing again. The questions are categorized into three forms: product, space, and attribute based. So when it comes to product, you need to understand it is not like NIT, because do not consider that the word product is coming in a fashion institute situation test. So it is related to something NID. Again, I would like to repeat, NID is all about functionality and NIFT is all about form. So if we see the questions that appear in terms of NIFT under the category of product, they can ask you to design and create a water bottle for listed professions like delivery person, as it was asked in NIFT 2018, or they can also ask you to create a headgear or a face mask. When it comes to space, the question demands replicating and recreating spaces from daily observation, like post office or a nursery school, as it was asked in NIFT 2014. When it comes to attribute, this is the most interesting factor or an encounter you will have to deal with, because it will relate to intangible aspects. It is not something a tangible thing that you will relocate from a space or a product. What attribute means is you will be given an expression or a concept or a mood, and you have to recreate it through the provided materials. For example, it was asked to create a waste recycling model, NIFT 2014, or a memento for environmental service worker in NIFT 2015. So these are the categories in which you will find questions related to product, space, or attribute. Moving on towards the next part, that is the how. So how you have to understand and what are the things you need to do while you are preparing for the situation test and while you are appearing for the situation test. So first, let me clear what are the things you have to do vigorously in order to achieve that skill set that you can appear for the situation test. Regularity in classes, that is very important, because if you are coming one or two classes and going to miss other two, three classes, your skill set will go down. So first and the most important point is regularity in your classes, because each class will deal with certain materials that will help you in the next part of class. A constant discussion with the faculty and also with the students who are part of the same class. You can also have discussions with previous year, past year students, and also get in touch of what they did or what were the question asked. And the most important point, that is understanding material, because each material has a certain physical and chemical property. It's not every time that if you are given wire, you can only use with structure, because they are very smart in providing materials. So understand the question and understand material. For an example, last year there was paper plate provided, and the question was in terms of making a model that expresses joy. Now, if you connect paper plate and joy, how are you going to use it? But there were certain smart solutions where students cutted out the central part of plate, used it in terms of a kind of facial expression, and the zigzag part of the plate, they folded it through simple origami techniques, and it represents kind of joy. Either way, you can go ahead with making something direct, that is a clown's face, if you want to represent joy, but your marks would validate more on if you go towards part of intangibility. This comes under the part while you are preparing, right, for in the class. But while you are at the uh, examination hall, the first and important thing you have to do is priorly cross check all the belongings of material you have been provided within the kit. This is how the layout would look like, uh, it- with the envelope you are going to get, and with each part there would be lists provided, and you have to cross check that if mount board A4 size, the quantity is given one, is it in your kit or not? Sometimes what happens that due to certain issues, you might get one or two, three things less. If you will quickly start making it and then you will get to know it's too late. So beforehand, in the first 1 to 2 minutes, just cross check all the material list you are provided with. Then start ideating your concept. Understanding material plays a very vital role because there are certain quick techniques which you can use in order to create something. If you know material as an individual part, it will be more easy for you to execute it. For example, let's take paper, right? The type of paper you will be provided depends on the type of question. But if you're good with origami, kirigami, or surface development, it gets easy for you to execute the same thing when it comes to the part of situation, right? Moving on towards the next part, these are some tips you can write which can help you in terms of understanding material priorly. So while you are dealing with exercises that are related to situation test, it gets easy for you to work on the part of ideation to conceptualization. Because if we consider the time factor you are provided with, you will have to deal with concept note, you will have to deal with the part of developing your idea, and the most important you will have to deal with is to understand the material you are provided with. Because if there is no link between the material provided and how we are going to use the material according to the concept, uh, like the written part is something they won't be interested in seeing because they can easily see how you have utilized the material, right? So paper, then sticks. Again, if you are good with bamboo sticks or ice cream sticks, you also need to understand what are the simple things you can consider in terms of approaching that particular material. For example, if we consider stick, consider the thickness and the length provided. If you would directly consider stick as a structural material and start cutting it, there is no undo. Once you have cut the stick, it is cutted, right? So develop the idea in initial 10 to 12 minutes. Quickly jump onto the part of conceptualization, seeing the materials you are provided with, and then start working on model. Do not jump on materials as if the first thought coming, seeing a stick is structure and you start making a structure. If it's related to space making, and then you end up in a loop where you have paper, you have thermocol balls, but you have no idea how and where to use it. So understand the part of material first with respect to the concept you are developing. And it takes like 10 to 12 minutes if you're good with it in terms of practice. Similarly, clay, wire, and thermosheet. Clay, a lot of students find difficult because yes, it has different intensities, thickness, and type of material. It's bit hard to work. But if you're good in terms of practice while you are preparing over here, it gets easy for you to understand the balance between wire and bamboo sticks or wire or thermosheets if provided, because thermosheets since past 2 3 years because of green environment they are not providing it. The least they can provide is thermoballs, but that's also a chance very rare. Again, clay, you explore all the sorts of clay over here, right? But the clay that you are going to get there is mostly oil based. So if you have vigorously worked with terracotta over here or ceramic clay or air dry clay, and you think that the same will be provided over there, no, because oil base has a very different property compared to air dried clay. Because here, if you are creating a structure and you are assuming, okay, I'm done with my structure and it will get dry in 15 to 20 minutes. So the same thing I can do in like examination. No, it's oil based clay. It won't settle up. And there is no surety on where, like how your model is going to get examined. You are not sure if it will be examined the same evening or the next day. So if you are using clay with wire, with bamboo sticks or ice cream sticks, or with paper. Understand how to develop it in a way that even if post 12 to 13 hours, if your model is being examined, it remains the same. When it comes to window display, lot of time I have seen student face difficulty that at the particular moment, the model is pretty good. Post 1 to 2 hours, things start falling from it because it's a display, it's a space, right? So we have used minute, fragile pieces of everything. Consider you have to make a window display for a shoe company, right? And you have created shoes out of clay. You have placed on paper structures, but then your clay will start sogging and your paper structure will also collapse. And post 3 to 4 hours, when the examiner would come to see your model, what you have made is not what actually they will see. And you will think that, okay, I had the best part of model that I made, but no. So understanding material plays a vital role. Moving on, the next, the very important, that is concept note. So ideally, if you are writing a concept note, the most important thing you have to keep in mind is the structure of it. Keep a simple structure. Do not overcomplicate it. Write the start, mid, and end. Emphasize the start and mid, focusing on ideation process. Because in a case, if your model is not the same what it's being made, but reading the concept note, if they get an idea, what was your idea or the concept behind your model, it will be helpful for you to fetch marks, right? And start with the mid portion on how vividly materials used from given set. Do not just simply write that because bamboo sticks were provided and it is good for structure, so I'm using sticks as structure in my model. No, that's not a validation point you are making. You have to consider the quantity, the quality with respect to other materials and why you have used. So that's what you have to write in the mid part. And the most important, end the note with the interpretation behind selecting the topic, because you will be provided with options, multiple options, right? And the materials given to you sets in all those options. So end the note, what was your interpretation behind selecting the topic and how it went from ideation to conceptualization. So keep concept note pretty simple and always make sure your concept note is linked with the model you have created. So if you come across the question and your ideation process is something else, your model is something else, and the concept note you have written is something else, you are already out of the league, because ideation is not something you are going to share with them. It's something for your own, which you are going to doodle and come home. Okay. The only thing they are going to see is the model and the part of concept note written. So make sure while developing the relation between idea to concept, you have a link in all those three factors. Because if there is no link, your things are going to fall out of the place. Post this, the most important factor, the next part of the slide, that is related to judgment, which is again very important because you work hard, but you also need to have a smartness in that approach. Because if you have no idea on what basis they are going to evaluate your work, right, all your hard work is just going to be in vain. Okay. So the criteria depends on multiple factors, but to sort a few, it gets down to idea to concept, as I already said, usage of material and the concept note. So three things you have to consider as from their perspective is the idea to conceptualization process, which you are being already doing in the CAT portion. But now at this point, you also have to recreate it. You have to create a model out of it. So if you are ideating and you have ideated the best part of your skill set, but also consider that you have to create the same out of the given materials. So it should not be the case that when it comes to ideation in the earlier 15 to 12 minutes, you have developed a beautiful idea, a beautiful concept on design. But when it comes to execution, you are lacking with the material provided or the resources that you have been given or so always consider it's not possible that everyone has the best of each skill set. If someone is there, so you which is write it well with parallel to what you are going to write, as it will be the first thing jurors are interested if your execution and writing are matching or not. Okay, so again, you have ideated well, you have created the model well, but when it comes to concept note, specifically in those attribute based questions where the intangibility matters the most, and your concept note is just about because COVID workers or environmental workers did work hard, so I'm providing a memento for them. No, that can't be a concept note. You have to validate what made you think of the form, what made you think of using the material, and how you have used it in creating the structure, and what is the empathy behind the memento given to those hard workers. So you can't simply write that because red sheet was provided, I used red. You have to validate why red. Third point, usage of material matters a lot as it will be limited. So here, while you are working, you would be dealing with 2-3 meters of wire. There you will be provided with only 1 meter. Now 1 meter is pretty less in quantity while you are working. So zero fumble should be the case. A part of error and you are done. So you also have to consider their approach or their perspective on the given materials, because if they have given us listed materials in a given quantity, they know how it can be used. Of course, it should not be the same, or it cannot be the same of how they have ideated. It varies because creativity is something every person has a different approach on it. Fine, but there should be a link between the provided materials and the usage you are going to do. And again, in that case, the most important thing you will have to consider is the material handling technique. Because irrespective, however good you are with developing the idea or the concept, but if you are not able to handle the material well, this is not something drawing that you are going to do and you come home and they will check your work. Few other criteria which you also consider is how good is your concept. If you are creating a space model, for example, let's consider you are developing a music space, a music room, as given in the question, right? And you have no idea how a music studio is, not in terms of the technicalities or the dimension, but also in terms of the functionality of what are the things you can come across in a music room. If you are just making a table and a console or a glass window with two people standing, that won't sum up a music space. If you have been given with clay, you can use clay to mold speakers and attach it on the walls that you're creating, right? You can use foam sheet if provided in terms of making an acoustic wall, right? OHP sheet if it is provided, do not directly use that OHP sheet as it is. Cut it into pieces, make frames, right? Make it look like a recording studio if a musician is working over it. An exercise previous year that was given was about a kindergarten school play area. So if you just end up making tables and chairs, it won't help. You will have to make small toys using clay or elements that represents a kindergarten school. How would it differ from a school that is for children in high school, and how it is going to differ for children who are in playgroup? So you have to consider those conceptual based elements while you're developing your concept. Space visualization, again, it all deals with scale and proportion, which you already have understood in the part of the first half, where you were working with developing your idea into concept. Material usage, as I already said. Construction skill in terms of neatness. While you are using Fevicol with paper, mount board, make sure less is more, right? A less amount of Fevicol is good to bind your paper with different material. If you are using it like butter and cream, it won't adjoin, right? If you're thinking that a lot of Fevicol will make it stick quickly, no, it's not like that. Aesthetic sense. If you're not good with minor details or making very intricate part of things in a model, develop your concept in a way that it doesn't have it. Because as I said earlier, not everyone is good with everything. So you also have to consider, and again, here at BRDS, we are going to guide you as per your skill set, right? And with respect to what the paper pattern and the structure of NIFT situation test is about. Execution and writing skills, as I said already. A few 3D models students made over here in last few years, which can be seen over here. A scooter, a kind of space, and as you can see, books and certain small elements made out of clay are being placed. So it should not limit to just furniture functionality, that you are providing a wardrobe but it is empty. No, it won't work. You have to fill out those details. What makes it a wardrobe? Because you are not going to write there, na, okay, this is a wardrobe. You will have to make it feel like a wardrobe. If you are making a window display that is for uh, a watch or like hand baggages, you can't write brand names over there, American Tourister or Samsonite, and you just draw that there will be a bag over here. No, no scribbling, no annotating on the model. That's never being allowed. You have to make elements that make it feel like, okay, that this is something related to luxury watches or this is something related to part of shoes. You can't just make table elements and write, there will be a shoe over here. That's a very foolish part of your thinking. So never to do such mistakes. Same with attribute-based model. If you are dealing with, make sure it can't be that abstract that only you can interpret. Because you are not Van Gogh or Dali, right? You are something in a process to execute something. So conveyance plays a very vital role. Whatever you have made and whatever you have written is not matching. Again, it's gone. So that's the most important point you have to consider while developing an attribute-based model. That sums up all from my side, considering the preparation approach and things you have to consider while working over here at BRDS and also while appearing there in the exam. I hope I was clear enough to explain points to you people.
Thank you, sir. It was really good, and each and every point was explained very nicely. I hope students will get the benefit that how they prepare for this upcoming entrance exam, the phase 2 of NIFT situation test. So how we can help you in preparation for the same? I will be sharing one screen. It will be a small presentation. Once again, it will just take 5 to 7 minutes. And after that, we will be having a Q&A round. So if you have any doubts, if your parents, if you yourself have any doubts related to the presentation which was shared by Aditya sir, or else if you have any questions in mind that you want to discuss, you can drop in the chat box below. After completing one small presentation, like 5 to 7 slides, we will be coming on Q&A round, wherein Aditya sir will be answering all your questions. So how BRDS will help you in preparing for the NIFT situation test? So what all coaching programs we have? Starting with 5 days free workshop to understand the basics of NIFT situation test. Introduction of creative writing, creative thinking, design concepts, and working on different themes. Here, the faculty will be helping you in solving the original paper to understand the basics, like what all is required to crack this particular NIFT situation test. The faculties here will be NIFT alumni. Second is live online classes and classroom coaching. So if you want to prepare yourself for this entrance exam, so our batches, we are starting from coming Tuesday, that is 26th of March, wherein every day you will have class for 2 hours. You can join it online or offline at your nearest BRDS center. We have more than 80 centers in India. So whatever center is nearby, you can go there and opt for the offline classes. If we don't have any of our center, you can choose online classes, which will be directly from the head office, which is in Ahmedabad. So in this, we will be covering introduction of creative thinking, design concepts, working on themes, 3D model making, which is very important, material manipulation, like tips to work with different material. As sir said, we will have very limited material, how you can use that appropriately. Writing skills, tips on preparation on write-up. solving of original papers for NIFT as well as the sample papers. Plus, you will be getting our software access wherein we have some pre-recorded videos. So after the class, if you want to access that, you want to learn more on material manipulation, you can do so by the pre-recorded videos. Now, if you don't have time for the whole preparation to join it regularly, daily basis, then you can get yourself prepared through the home coaching pack. So home coaching pack is the system wherein you will get all the material at your postal address. You can yourself prepare for the NIFT situation test. And we have our learning portal also, wherein there is some pre-recorded videos. So with seeing the pre-recorded videos, which is prepared by expert faculties, you can learn by yourself how to use cardboard, clay, wire, what are the different activities, what are the questions that can come. It has original papers as well as sample papers. For more information related to it, you can call us on 98250 57598. And as I said, your results are already out. So you can check. If not, you can check your result also on this website. Our registration for the NIFT situation test, which is starting from Tuesday, is open. You can directly go to our website, rathoredesign.com, wherein you will get the registration form. You can fill that form and start your preparation. We have limited seats in a batch, only 20 students. So first come, first basis will be there. And new batch, as I said, 26th of March 2024. Already we had not many registrations in past 3 days. So all the batch, whichever we are having it full, we are removing that. So if you want to be a part of this whole journey, so that you can enroll yourself as soon as possible. So result, which is very important, what result you will be getting. So BRDS result. Till now, when we talk about all the entrance exam for designing, whether it's NID, NIFT, IIT, CEPT, NATA, we have maximum selection across India. In NIFT, till now, 10,139 students have qualified. So yeah, we started with 2008, 22 students. In 2023, 1,900 students. So another milestone, 22, 1,500, 23, 1938. So this is maximum in India. So all top 10 ranks were from BRDS. So out of 100 students there, 89 students are BRDS students. So you know how we prepare from the very basic to advanced, and how we challenge students to create something which is very useful for them to for the upcoming exams. Every year we used to publish our results in newspaper as well. Ahmedabad Mirror results, NIFT 2023, all top 10 ranks, 2022. We challenge also, if any other institute proves to be better in terms of coaching, you can claim a cash prize of 1 crore, which is true because every year we have highest result. In 2023 for NIT, 270 students, for NIFT, 1,938 students, for IIT, 574 students qualified for UCEED and CEED. 816 students went to NATA, went to architecture colleges through NATA, and 80 students went to CEPT University, which is highest selection record of BRDS as compared to any other coaching institute in India. So thank you. For more information, you can visit our website, which is rathoredesign.com. You can get all the information over there. If you want to call us for personal details or anything, you can call us on 98250 57598 is our number. And NIFT, trust me, we have our best faculty. Bhanwar sir, the director of this institute, Dr. Bhanwar Rathore, he himself is an NIFT graduate. So everything, the course preparation, everything he himself also monitors. That is why we are having great results every year. So you can see 2023, 2022, it's 1,500. Now it's 1,900, and this year we are expecting more than 2,000, 2,200. So this is all because of our director, Mr. Bhanwar Rathore. He himself is from NIFT. So this was all about the courses. If you want to enroll, you can fill the registration form, which is available online. And if you are facing any kind of difficulty in finding the forms, you can just call us on 98250 57598 is our number. So now if you have any doubts, you want to ask to Aditya sir, you can drop in the chat box. Aditya sir will be answering. So one of the questions I feel which is very important, sir, many of the parents used to ask that what is the difference between NID studio test and NIFT situation test, because see, NIFT situation result is already out. They have started preparing for the same, but NID studio results will be out on 27th and 28th. So they are a little bit confused. Will this preparation will be enough for that also, or there are two different things?
Of course, the preparation varies a lot. It's like North to South Pole, because the name also is different. The situation test and studio test. Because when it comes to NIFT, it's all about form. And when it comes to NID, it's all about functionality. So there is no difference in the materials provided. Of course, the question varies a lot. You will also be provided with wire in NIFT and also in NID. But the same wire, how you are using when it comes to NIFT situation, it's all all based on form. The same wire while you are using for like in terms of an ID, it goes with functionality. Functionality as in you have to generate something that is not static and a bit kinetic as compared to what you are creating it in NIFT for situation test in terms of form. So yeah, preparation varies a lot, and the difference is in terms of question, in terms of name. In some cases, some like previous experiences, in terms of materials also, and the approach, it varies a lot.
So this is the answer to all your questions. Morning only, I got a call from a parent that how this is different. So this was one of the questions from Kiran as well. Okay, Sia Goel is asking, will we get a rough paper for the ideation process?
Yes, you would be provided like a kind of, not a rough paper on a different part, but in your envelope kit and also in the paper that I just shared, there would be some area where you can use a part of developing the concept or ideating the materials. Yeah, but you would have space for it.
Okay. Is it important to use all the material that is provided to us?
Almost 75%, because as I said in the presentation, if they are giving a certain set of material, they already know how it's going to get constructed. Creativity varies from person to person. So usage of material also varies person to person. But it should not be that you are almost using every material and you're not touching a certain part of material. If they have provided clay, at least use a bit of it. But that should not be as an add-on. That just because you have to use it, you are using it. Think a bit, you will get an idea. This is something in relation to what the model is going to get constructed.
So if the question is regarding formation or creation of the product, are we allowed to make that particular product functional with the material that are provided to us?
No, not necessary, because as I said, NIFT is all about form. So the product that you are going to create, for example, let's talk about headgear, right? So if things like rubber band or like nylon threads are provided, you can create a strap or anything. But it is not like an ID that where you have to create a seesaw that is also functional. So again, the listed materials are in a way that you will only work on the part of form. If your mind is tracking and navigating you towards the part of functionality, take a pause, think for a while, doodle again, and develop your concept again. Because this is NIFT, not an ID.
So ideation here is very important when you get
very important.
Yeah. So there won't be, Anjali, Sonara, if you are for bachelors, there won't be any interview round after situation test. Once the situation test is done, within some time, you will get your result. You will get two type of rank. One is category rank and one is common merit rank. And as per the common merit rank, you will be having a whole list wherein you can apply for all the NIFT campuses. There are 18 campuses where you can apply. So yeah, after situation test directly, you will get the rank and everything. If you are already BRDS student, we already started the classes. And again, if you have, because of your boards, if you have not started from Tuesday, you can start your classes. There is no interview round, Swarnika. Mitraja is asking, we want to know about the choices on NIFT situation test. Will we have choice, or we can, what we are strong in, like they will have multiple choices, or it's like one only and they have to prepare that?
No, you will have choice in terms of the construction of model, and in that particular also you would have option. So two words differs a bit, choices and option. When it comes to choice, it is related to the question you want to do. And when it comes to option, it is for the same question, you would have two, three options. So when it comes to choice, think on what's your particular skill set. As I said, few people are good in terms of making spaces. Few people are good with in terms of developing an intangible aspect of a model. Both are fair, okay, right?
Hmm.
It's not a compulsion to do only one. So according to it, filter your choice, and in option, see to it as provided the material, what's the first idea or the first raw draft you're getting, and accordingly select the option. So yeah, you would be provided with choices and options.
Okay. So you can choose meticulously what is good for you. Uh, how to speed up the making part? Through practice only, I suppose. But yes, the student Aisha is asking how to speed up the making part.
Uh, like thorough yourself with quick material techniques. A lot of time I see students struggling with working in mixed materials. The reason behind it is that you have directly jumped on to developing exercises, right? Because here at BRDS, we prepare you in a way from very basic. Because if your foundation is not strong, you are not going to encounter any type of exercise. You should be thorough with simple basic craft techniques like origami, kirigami. It feels boring at a time, but like as as per my experience, it is very important in making things quick. If you have no idea about surface development and you have to make a space where you have to make multiple furniture elements, you are not going to cut each part of paper and stick it. If you are good with surface development, you can just simply start jotting the plan and fold it with scores or half cut and construct it. You are already saving your time. So yeah, you should be quick with those techniques and tips when it comes to individual material handling.
How should we divide time for executing everything timely and properly by Arya More?
Don't waste more time in like in ideation to conceptualization. 12 to 15 minutes, you're good to go. Okay, because it is something, the more you will develop your concept, the more it will happen, right? This is not your exercise. You are appearing for an exam. So the first raw draft that you are getting in your mind, that's your idea. Hold on to it, develop your concept, and then do not overthink that how it would look, how would it happen. Just start executing it. But before you start cutting anything or start executing, also figure out how you are going to utilize the material. Because as I said, there is no U-turn. Once you have cutted a sheet, you have cut it. You can't then stick it and do
Use it.
trial and error or improvisation. Fine. So like 12 to 15 minutes in terms of developing the idea to concept, and remaining time divided half into part of execution and also the concept note. Do not think that concept note is something I would write in the end while constructing the model or while even generating the idea. If you are getting pointers, write down. So while you have to write the concept note, you just simply use those pointers in framing the sentence. Because if you think that, okay, I will construct the whole model, then sit, will see to it, and then start writing, uh, itna time nahi hota hai. So you need to like develop both things parallelly.
True. So for NIFT MDes students, you have your PI round 1st to 6th of April in Delhi as per the notification. So for that also 3-day classes we are having starting from 26. It will be 26, 27 and 29. So if you want to register for that to understand what type of questions they will be asking in PI, you can do the registration from our website rathoredesign.com. So classes will be Monday to Saturday. Sunday, we don't have class as of now, but yes, you can visit the nearest center to know more about the Sunday classes. Aisha is asking, can we carry Posca makers, the acrylic markers? Posca
No,
markers and the acrylic markers.
no, nothing such of crayons or colors or external foreign mediums you can carry. More detail will be out once you will get an admit card, which type of tool sets you can carry in terms of cutter or precision knife or sets of blade or even compass. or which type of scale you can carry, but certainly no for any foreign element like colors or markers or even microns. You can't even like consider micron. I guess pencil should be the best thing you should practice with.
And you will get the list of material that what you can carry. So you can take
Yes.
that material with you. So Shrishti, after 15th of April, maybe they will have their exam. So till like dates are not announced yet. It's just with the experience we are saying that after 15th April, they can have their exam. Will there be short question on space design, Aditya sir?
You can't say that because again, be it NIFT or NID or any sort of design entrance exam, you can't rely on paper patterns. As in previous 3 years, if they are constantly asking space making, so this year also there would be an option of space making. No, they might give an option in terms of an attribute model or a product based model or something in terms of a window display. So you should not rely on that, okay, there would be an option related to space making.
So, Samriddhi, so once the situation test round is complete, you will get your rank within 15-20 days or maybe. So as per the rank, there will be a counseling round wherein they will be showing you the seats where you can apply. You will be getting a cutoff also, last year cutoff. Based on that, you can figure it out which college you can get as per your rank. And then the counseling happens. It is online session wherein counseling happens. You get 5 minutes link. You have to attend that. If you are okay with the seat, you can freeze it, or else there are 2-3 more options. So that also we will be covering later on. That webinar also we will be keeping after completing this situation test round. And once the results will be out, we will be doing that as well. So yeah, there are different structures for that. Portfolio in NIFT, this time it is not required. Offline classes, BRDS, different centers, different time options. So you can contact us for more details. My number is 98250-57598. Aditya sir, if you are also finding any question which is good, you want to answer it, please go ahead with it.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Situation test will be around 15th of April, or after that, but we are also not very much sure about it.
There is a question here by Shivika. She is asking that are we allowed to explain our concept with few drawings in concept writing? No, Shivika. It should be purely based on writing. As I said, you are not allowed to annotate anything on the model, and also no doodling or idea to conceptualization process in your concept note. Concept note means that you are writing your concept. So again, if you have to annotate it, then it will be a different exercise itself.
True. What is the duration time given for situation test by Naman Suni?
Hello.
Yeah, what is the time duration that they will get for the situation test?
2 hours.
It's 2 hours you will be getting.
Yeah.
So Suman is asking, when it comes to concept building, I'm very good at it, but I'm not good in executing. So how I can improve that?
Three things which you can work out is, one thing is, for the first thing, conceptualization over here is not what you used to do in the part of CAT and that in NID and NIFT. Conceptualization here is in terms of recreating a model. So whatever concept you are developing, make sure that it's not going to be on paper. You have to construct it on with the given sets of material. So develop your concept considering the material. Secondly, work on your skill set related to paper, to wire, and materials. One fine such exercise we just recently did here at BRDS in the material handling class was to make a same structure using paper, same structure using clay, same structure using wire, and the same structure using mixed materials. That includes OHP sheets and bamboo sticks or like ice cream sticks. The reason behind is that student can understand the geometry behind a particular form and how the geometry and the form changes when a material changes. So you can try a very simple exercise. Make a 6 centimeter by 6 centimeter cube using paper, using mount board, using wire, using clay, and you will get to know how the form is changing. So this is the skill set you need to master. That if you are like precise enough to create that same cube in all those materials with zero error, there you go. You are good with material handling.
So first you will have your NIFT situation test, results will be out, and then there will be a counseling round. Based on your rank, you will get the seats. So right now, NIFT score is not out. Only in your result, it is written that you are qualified for the situation test. That's it. So score result, nothing is out yet in terms of marks. It's just you have qualified for the situation test. Once it is done, then only you will get a proper rank. So wait for it. Now we start preparing for the situation test. So studio test for NID, studio test, there are questions related to it. We will be taking the webinar for that as well in this month. So dates and everything we will be providing you with. If any of you is interested or giving NATA exam, so on 26th we have NATA webinar as well. At 5 p.m. in the evening. So if you are giving architectural exam NATA, we will have our detailed work on it, what type of questions, because they have changed the paper pattern this year. So we have a webinar on that as well. You can take the link the way you got today, and you can just join that webinar as well. So registration for slot booking in terms of city, in which city you can go and give the exam. At all NIFT campuses, they have their exam for phase 2 round. You have to wait for it. Still the window is not open yet. And yeah, so you have to wait for it. Once the window is open, we will be informing you about the same. Aditya sir, Divya is asking, tool for making 3D model will be provided by them? The tools which is required?
No, basic tools like cutter, set of blades, a precision knife, scale, pencils, you will have to carry. A detailed clarification of the same will be provided in the admit card that you will be given.
Okay.
Even Fevicol you will have to carry.
Okay, so you have to carry your own Fevicol as well.
As well, yes.
So you will get the list of material, read that carefully. In the round 1 also, many of the students came to the exam center and they were not having the proper material. So please carry whatever is given in the detailed description. Okay, Bhumika is asking, this is very interesting one. Do we need to clear our space before test ends? Like if they have made many things like, so they have to clear it before going, or it's like, okay, to keep it messy? If
your material is used, there is no need to clear. But if you haven't constructed the model yet, there will be a pile of material wastage, which seeing you will also feel terribly bad that you are not able to create model. So yeah, there is no particular need to clear out the space, but yeah, those bits of PCs and paper, you can just pile it on a corner. Once you are done with making the model and writing the concept note, that is something you will have to worry in the end. Do not worry about clearing the space, or else your space making would be left.
So you don't have PI round for NIFT bachelors. For masters, yes, you have PI round 1st to 6th of April in Delhi. So NID studio result is not out yet. So 27th or 28th of March, they will be announcing the result. Situation test dates are also not announced yet. Portfolio, this time they have not asked for the portfolio. So there will be no portfolio. Aisha is asking, can you share any website for space design questions, like interior design companies or some? space design website or something like that, wherein they can learn about space design questions?
Rather than website, I guess materials from here at BRDS, we have enough library of questions filled with space making and other things. If you want to encounter questions related to it. For references of how to make in classes, we do share videos and tutorials on designing a space. There are like 2-3 minutes short videos which we make the students see in order if they are not getting an idea in developing the space or not getting an idea in terms of space making. Rest the questions and library is enough in BRDS material.
So you have to join BRDS to know more about the exercise and assignment that have been prepared by the expert faculties. Ahmedabad, we don't have center for NIFT. It's in Gandhinagar. So definitely Gandhinagar you can choose as an exam center. Gia is asking, can we ask for more material if we don't have more?
No,
you
you
cannot.
can't even ask for repetition of material. If by any chance you have fumbled up the kit that is being provided to you, there is no way you can ask for another kit. It's like a kit, an envelope. So that's why I said the first step is to cross check all the materials with the list being provided. Because if in initial 10 to 15, if you will say that sir or ma'am, I'm missing out this materials has been written in the list, they will help you. But post 45 minutes, if you will call them and say, there are chances you might be cheating. You have already fumbled up with the material and you are hiding and then asking for another sheet saying that, okay, I haven't received the material. So it's better on the initial stage, ask. Baki, there are no things you will get again.
Bhavna, my number is 98250-57598. I will write in the chat box as well. See, top campuses are Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Gandhinagar, Kolkata, but other centers are also very good. We used to interact with students who are in Kannur, Srinagar. They are also having great experience over there. So all the campuses are good. If you get NIFT, go ahead with it. Don't see like this campus is not good because faculties everywhere is good only. So yeah, choose like all the campuses are equal. Delhi is the main organizer. Any question if you are up to...
An interesting question. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, there is one question by Tanisha Das that also I'm finding very interesting. It's after we create the model, are we gonna get asked any questions? If yes, what kind of questions we might get asked? So after creating the model.
Like post creating the model.
Post creating the model, yes. So they will ask questions or it will be like...
No, you just have to write the concept note based on the model if it is written in the question. No external questions or anything out of the question paper would be asked to you. It will be just limited to kind of an exam where you are giving, you are submitting, and then you are done with it.
So yeah, so evaluation will be done later on, not at the moment.
Yeah, and that's very important point. As I already said above, if you are creating a model and you are finding that this is the best version, but also think how would it go post 12 to 15 hours. You also need to understand that part.
True. So you were telling me there is one question that is good. So
yes, Kanan is asking what kind of variety of clay should be used to practice. See, when it comes to examination, you would be given oil-based clay, but again, you never know because they decide things, right? So you can't realize that post like since 7 to 8 years they are giving oil-based clay. So this time also we will be provided with that same tikia kind of thing, right? So when it comes to practice, again, at BRDS, we make student practice with potter's clay, the terracotta one, MSIL, air dry, each different material spectrums we make them explore. Because it's all about trial and error process. It's not something that you are using a material and you will be done with it. The more you will fail, the more you will experiment, and the more you will get clean in terms of handling the material. So whatsoever material they might give you then in the examination, you are thorough with it.
So Navya, many times you have asked this, two different ranks. So one is your category rank as per your category, whether you're from general category, SC, ST, OBC. So you will get a rank based on that. And one is the common merit rank. So out of all students, what rank you got. But the cutoffs and everything which is available on a NIFT website is based on common merit rank, not the category rank. So if you are checking it, you have to check through common merit rank, not the category rank. So there are two different, because you in two different categories only students have applied for the same. So if you have category certificate, you go under category rank and then common general category. Okay, Beryl is asking, what is the maximum and minimum word limit for concept note? Is there any word limit?
If in the question they have written like 200 words, 150 words, then it's fine. If not, keep your concept note clear between 120 to 150 words. Do not stretch it or exaggerate the idea or concept. Arya is asking a question, will the examiner interact with us while we are in the examination, like while we are making the model about our concept or anything? No, Arya, it's an exam. So he or she will be just supervising you and seeing if you are making it correctly. No interaction would be there from their side.
Yeah, only the invigilators will be there on round. So Divya, yes, within 2 hours, you have to complete the 3D model as well as the write-up. After that, you won't be getting time to do that. And Gia is asking that after submitting the model, how can we trust that they are going to take care of it? What if some part breaks? Like broke, yeah.
A factor of luck plays a vital role because their intention is not to break your model, but after all, it's human error. If while shifting from one place to other place, if a part of thing gets broken, consider your luck. But as I said above, do not make your model too fragile, specifically when it comes to window displays or space making models. If you are thinking of cutting a lot of small pieces of paper and making a kind of decor items over there, chances are that they might fall or they might break or they might like get tear up. So it's better to make a model that is more concrete, more brutal, and more strong. So even if like due to human error they are like not getting to handle it properly, it won't like get damaged as much as you are thinking it will.
You have to fix it in a way that it don't get damaged. Yeah. So many questions. If you have any further questions, you can call us on 98250 As I said, we are starting our batches from coming Tuesday, that is 26th of March. You can get yourself enrolled. You can call us or directly visit our website to fill the registration form. So this was all about today's webinar. Thank you, sir, for giving such a great explanation about NIFT situation test. This will really help students to crack this exam. So 20%, as I said, it is very, very important. Make sure you do proper practice. You have enough time now. If your boards exam is also there, 1 hour, 1.5 hour daily, you can take it out because whole year you are reading for the board exam. Definitely start preparing for the same. And to get a proper roadmap, please get in touch with us. Start preparing with our expert faculty. We have a group of expert faculties who will be training you throughout. Practicing is the key to success. The more you practice, the better you will be. So thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure all mine, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you.